for you. Man, this machine. I know it. I heard a garbage truck drive by earlier. I was like, that must be him. Because I just heard the noise of this like massive. But it's just a garbage truck.
Oh man. On the way over here, I just kept on thinking, like, when I want it to be a sports bike, it is. When I want it to be a dirt bike, it is. When I want it to be a touring bike, it is.
It's all the best parts of all bikes in one bike.
The only itch it doesn't scratch, and I'm totally okay with, is like it's not a Harley Cruiser. But then that's obviously a paradox with everything else it is. So does every point that.
It's also not an enduro bike, but you know.
Shoot,
Yeah.
some people ride them as if they were. Not me. I'm not that silly.
Not gonna take this thing to Kentucky.
No, sir. Not I. But you watch videos, there are people that do, that have
Yeah.
that level of skill.
We're live.
Oh, hi. Oh, hi.
I think. Yep, we are. Yep, we got one viewer.
This is my 2017 Honda CRF 1000L Africa Twin. It is the base package, which I actually prefer because the Adventure model has a larger gas tank. This one has a 5-gallon tank. The Adventure model has a 6.2-gallon tank, which is really awesome, but that's that much more weight. I'm very fortunate to have some rear Premier mounts here, the Tusk brand, which is one of the Premier preferred brands. I'm also so fortunate that these are the exact same style that my KLR 650 has, so my panniers are interchangeable. I'm very fortunate to have this rear case on here.
Yeah, I was jealous of that, so I put a suitcase on my camera.
A rear case is really awesome, though.
Yeah.
And when I say that, it is just my day-to-day. Like, honestly, there's just not even a whole lot of room in here that's not necessary. Secondary tools, primary tools, even more sockets. First aid is down there, and that's most of my rear case.
Like rain gear, maybe.
I can definitely fit like a pair of shoes in here if I can get creative, but if I really need storage space, that's where I just add the panniers onto it. What else is notable about this here by...
Continental tires.
Yeah, I'm liking them so far. I haven't taken them off-road at all, so I can't have any fully developed opinions there.
They're like TKC 80. Pretty standard.
Something interesting to note is that this portion of the exhaust is basically completely touchable. But do not touch this portion of the exhaust. That small difference, that portion
Wow.
is hot.
Here,
This-
hold up. We can even measure that.
Oh yeah, you've got one of those infrared thermometers.
Oh, just for the sake of science.
So that's Celsius?
60 Fahrenheit.
Oh, so that is absolutely touchable.
That's like outside temperature.
And then that one just a few inches away is all the way up in
It's
the
like
hundreds.
twice as hot.
Mm-hmm. With all that said, though, your passenger riding here, this is absolutely the most likely area for them to touch, so they still did good engineering there. And heck, it doesn't bother me, but on the KLR, this portion of the engine happens to be right next to your ankle, right here. And I wouldn't say it gets like hot and bothersome, but you can definitely feel the heat. And during the summer, it's a little bit hot and bothersome.
Yeah.
But as you notice here, that section of the engine is moved much farther forward.
And the exhaust pipe runs like right by your like shin and
Oh
everything.
yeah, yeah, that is true. So yes, despite the cold, I had a very pleasant ride over here.
I told him to bring it over here because he's about to have a catastrophic breakdown. He's missing one screw.
Whole windscreen could fly off.
So, obviously, one option would be to try to fit a nut back there. Another option is just to put a rib nut in and not even have to mess with taking the dash and everything out.
I'm curious of what it was like stopped.
Well, if we take this one out, then
I guess we'll know.
we should know.
We'll have to take it out carefully as to not lose the nut, if that's
Yeah.
how that works. I've also been watching some reviews. Apparently, this structure up here that holds the windscreen in place is perfectly adequate for just the windscreen. But a lot of people like to mount like phones and things to this little crossbar. And apparently the combination of being a windscreen and holding like a phone or a GPS is too much strain for it.
Oh. Got this thing for Christmas.
Oh. Just like basically any screw tip. So to me it looks like maybe a 6mm driver. Well, 5mm.
Barely even tight. It's kind of plastic.
Or maybe it's just running against the windscreen. Let's see. Is there a little nut? Oh yeah, there's a little plastic nut
Yeah,
right there.
that's great. Well, that one's gonna fall off.
Yeah, I would leave it there.
The other one must be like rattling around in here.
Now that it's movable, let me try to shine some more light in there and see what I can see.
How am I supposed to tighten this one
That's now we gotta watch some videos. And these probably are just threaded holes.
That makes sense.
Maybe you have to access them. Oh no. It's not done.
That's silly. Yeah, those have
Just a normal.
what you would
threaded hole.
expect. Shit.
Well, goddamn. Is there a way that it like slides out? It looks like it. Yes, that's a good thing.
No, but that, is that a plastic nut?
I think so. I haven't found the other one yet. It may be lost forever. Yeah, it looks like a weird little locking shape.
So what do you think?
Is that also the same size threads there? But yeah, I mean, I'm not. It kind of sounds like better design.
It's one size smaller.
I might do just a moment of research to see like why did they even want it to be a loose nut back there? Like what
Yeah.
would be the? I don't know. I can't think of really any disadvantages.
It's a little silly.
And remind me, the way to remove a rib nut is by drilling it out.
And in that case, you could just pull it into that
Downwards.
bigger portion.
especially if we don't pull it as tight as humanly possible. You know, if we just moderately tighten it in place. Yeah, but I think for the other one, if we just kind of like pull it outwards as we're trying to screw it in, we'll probably get it to do what it needs to. Yeah, like I said, this little structure of the mount, no one has complaints if they only use it as a windscreen. They just have issues when they try to, that one is too small.
It's the right size for this whole put up.
I mean, the hole there looks like it might could accommodate a slightly larger one. Are these actually, the more I look at it, those,
The bottom one bigger than the top one?
I guess that's possible.
What's the, oh, we don't have the other bottom.
No, we don't.
Good caliper.
So you're on YouTube Live right now?
Yeah, hopefully still. Last time I forgot that my phone drains in like 5 minutes when I'm streaming.
Oh, right.
So the screen died like 10 times while I was setting up the battery.
Well, I'm gonna go see the new Avatar this evening. The one with blue people.
And 4.7.
If it allows the rib nut to fit tighter, I wouldn't necessarily be opposed to going up maybe 1 millimeter.
Yeah, 'cause this is a different bolt side.
Or head size.
Yeah.
I would almost be more inclined to have one with the same head size as long as we're not drilling out the metal. I'm not excited to say it, but I wouldn't even be fundamentally opposed to drilling out the plastic slightly. Like, I might go up a millimeter or so. Gosh, that airhorn is so tacky in there. That's gotta go.
That's a, I got some 8 millimeter. That's just 1 millimeter bigger.
That's probably.
It's a rib nut already, kind of fits in there better.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Squeeze.
I think that's the good. I think that's the
No,
What weird design though. And I was
Yeah.
looking for a while. I'm pretty sure that piece is lost to the sands of time.
Yeah, it could have rattled out the bottom.
Very easily, because. Oh yeah, it's even got some small vent holes down here. I just noticed. I'm also very lucky that this build has this weird little wind buffeting piece that goes above the steering column. It's a very common complaint I've been watching on the internet.
Thing. The little plastic.
Yeah, so
What do people say about that?
they say without it, like they get like like an oscillating wind pressure right in front of their face. So I'm trying to remember exactly.
You gotta hold the washer from transferring torque to the rib nut with a vice grip, and then you gotta hold the screw tight while rotating the nut. It's a little cray-cray.
Right, because you want the bolt to stay still, but you want to pull it outwards.
Right, you wanna hold the rivet in place.
The rivet
Squeezing
and
it
the
with
bolt
nut.
does not rotate. The nut is fundamentally the only part you want to rotate. That's what we had, or I said we, at least I had such a
Also-
hard time following when we were doing it on the Jeep with the giant one.
You could theoretically impact it. In this case, I don't think that's a good option.
Another thing that we might do while we're hanging out is I think the chain could be tightened some.
I think my race stand.
the name of the hardware kit you got here?
That's just a metric hex bolt kit, and then a rib nut kit, metric, and then a bolt or nut kit. Just off Amazon. Come on. Even bend the washer.
Oh yeah, to where it has like a little tab-ish kind of standing up. That'll probably be the move. Oh, just more of that bend. I think that's the move.
Yeah, they call it a tang washer. Embedded in the vise. I mean,
I think it just got
once it starts crushing,
actually. It's worth the time to get it right, especially on such a beautifully refined machine.
yeah,
I'm sure you feel the same way about your Ninja.
yeah, but gotta use the tool for what it was designed to do.
I didn't know the water heater was just on the speakers.
Yeah, you like that?
Oh yeah, that's the move.
You're gonna hold that like there,
Yes, sir.
and also hold.
Such a weird experience. Because you can feel it slowly deforming back there.
Right, you do it till it's tight.
And I think once before when I was applying one of these, I over-tightened slightly.
It's kind of like a spark plug. You could go by the torque spec, but you can also go by when you feel the crush washer is fully crushed, it gets a lot tighter. So you're putting the same force in, but now
All of a
it's
sudden it
snug.
ramps up really fast.
Right. So you don't go beyond the point at which it gets snug with the same amount of force that you've been crushing it with.
So that's probably just about it, right? It feels tight. That's not wiggling anymore.
Now, pop this thing out. Got ourselves a nut. We might want to do the same thing on the other side.
It is pretty secure, and that would make removing my windscreen that much faster.
I mean, for next time, so you don't have to just. We already got everything out. It's
I
kind of
would
a
not be opposed. It kind of
kind
seems
of a
like a
dinky
good
design.
I think one thing we should at least test fit it, but I do agree. I think it's the move. I don't see why that wouldn't work.
See if I got enough plastic washer thingy.
Oh, that would be sick. Because I'm sure they do that for vibration.
Yeah. Nylon.
Oh, in the junk box. I definitely use this windscreen. I mean, naturally it's taller. I definitely use this windscreen a lot more than the KLR one. The KLR one, I'm sure, gives me a little bit of a wind bubble, but I actually get behind this one and look through it. But it's so much more vertical than the other one, and I understand why. I remember when I was first getting into the KLR world, I was seeing a lot of builds in KLRs that had almost vertical windscreens, and I was like, I don't understand that. I don't get it. And now that I've ridden a lot more, I understand it much better.
It's about creating the perfect little bubble to get over your head.
And originally I would have assumed like a front facing one would have made like just a lot of wiggly air behind it, but it really doesn't. It makes like or at least the wiggly air is behind you. You're in the smooth portion of the bubble.
If you want to be aerodynamic, you gotta get a Ninja and
Get
in
fully tucked.
But if you want to be comfortable and not get hit by the wind. Oh, come on, scrounge box.
Come through.
Don't fail me now.
We don't want to steal them off the television, but I see the television has some
What?
of those little rubbery washers. Right there.
Oh, those are your bolts.
Oh. Never mind, I got
We could
it.
steal them from your bolts for your bolts, and then we'd still get the same.
I could very easily add those in the future.
This one's.
I think it'd be better to have nothing than steel.
Yeah, no, I've got one. It's like I've seen it. In
I mean,
the
if I
last
was real determined, I could just take like a
years.
little package like this and punch one out.
Right.
I don't have. Do I have any punches like that?
Should have got some like plastic we could just snip out of.
A circle.
Yeah.
And then
If you want to keep digging in the scrounge
Yeah.
box, I'll just try to make one.
Ah, we got a dice. You think we need a dice?
You could put a dice on your, just hang it from your windshield.
Found a large rubber one.
Oh yeah.
But it's huge.
Like how huge?
You do have a good scrounge here.
Yeah, I like having the scrounge because when you need it, you find. I've almost always found exactly what I need in there.
With just enough time, yeah. So does YouTube Live have the same kind of like chat?
It does have a chat. It's kind of weird. It disappears, which I don't like. You have to. If anyone says anything,
You have to like bring it up.
you can do live chat. But yeah, sometimes it'll fade away and you have to swipe.
Oh, I just realized I could at least log in and be one viewer.
One time Ashlyn was talking to me, but I didn't see it, and then it faded away, and then I still didn't see it. So I saw it like an hour later when it popped back up. I was like, what the heck?
Oh, you even named it the Africa Tim Walkaround.
Yeah.
Let me mute that.
Figured that would get the most views.
Yeah, at least see it pops up for a moment. I don't know how long it stays on there. Damn, it looks good in that frame of view.
Yes. Come over here, I'll cast it on this TV so I can get the comments without having to walk behind the thingy. That look about right? Or a little bit smaller.
Slightly smaller, I think.
Do we have the other ones? We could reference.
Oh yeah. I thought you said you were going to get the case for that thing. That phone of yours. Oh, you just have it off right now?
Yeah, it's a very minimal case. Some manufacturing in here.
So yeah, it does make this amount small. But I think the holes are pretty good size. Oh, is this the sophisticated soldering iron that you borrowed?
It's still my favorite one.
I mean, it was like $300 when I got it. So.
Soldered new capacitors on that power supply of that TV.
Oh, sweet.
Didn't fix it, but I tried. I might get a new power supply board, but I might have cracked the screen also, so I don't want to spend the money.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I mean, televisions are just not expensive these days. How's that work? I think you did it.
So the screw.
All right, let's try to fit that thing out.
This one's a 4.
When my
Make them all 4s.
when I eventually upgrade my phone, I think I'm with you in that I will not mount it on my motorcycle, or at the very least without a damp.
Yeah, like a
Wow.
super rubberized. But that one, I mean, I bought it for the camera, and just it seems like just like a risk that it already messed up my S8 camera to where the video is always like aliasing. It's really weird.
I remember when I was first saying that I thought that might be happening. You were like, no.
These phones are made for that.
And I think it's really as simple on at least the iPhone that the autofocus mechanisms are just being vibrated to death. Like it's like I think they allow the lens to kind of float there on purpose so that the autofocus servos can be like relatively low power. But I think it just sitting there floating allows it to just vibrate way more than it intends to.
Yeah, because they're focused by lasers.
Lasers!
They laser the distance out, and then they say you need this focal length.
I kind of thought they did it like old style cameras where they just look like for the interference of the light until the interference minimizes.
Yeah,
that's just perfect. So yeah, if that snugs it real nice, I would say yeah, why not? Yeah, so let's rivet the end of it too. How do you like the ratcheting screwdriver?
it's nice. If it's like a tight screw, you really need to. But usually this is faster.
Sweet. And for this one, I kind of gotta pull it outwards at the same time.
Not useless.
And I think it will fall, is the unfortunate. Or are you saying will it kind of fish out?
Yeah.
I heard it fall down. Like, yeah, what are you supposed to do?
I think you're supposed to like go in behind the dash, but like who wants to?
Well, especially now that we're discussing it, I absolutely do want to rev it. Yeah, it's poor design.
Yeah.
But they probably expect you to take it to the Honda dealership.
And charge you the extra 4 hours of labor or the dash or whatever.
So I probably got 2 of them just sitting in my dash somewhere.
It's rattling around. Yeah, I was skeptical of riv nuts when we used them on your Jeep, but now that I know how they work.
They're a very effective solution, and they can still be removed. That's one of my favorite aspects to them. Not a lot of fits or pieces like this can easily be removed. And I don't want to say easily because it's still a job, right?
I mean, in this case, you could just put the bolts in there and just kind of yank it down, fall out.
And it's so much softer metal than the steel around it. And I have drilled some out before where you just use a relatively very large drill bit.
Yeah.
And you just kind of drill it till the head detaches from the body.
I mean, you can see in there where the riveted crease is. Alright.
You just pull them apart. push it upwards.
Yeah.
Maybe with like a screwdriver and a hammer. What are you thinking? I think a few taps upward it'll probably do. I don't know if once it's crimped you'll be able to just push it. They might still melt. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. Drill it out and put another one. That goes to show how secure it is. I mean, perhaps if we get a flat head
We'll
screwdriver and tap it up a few times.
Yeah. Try.
Yeah, if we're just gonna remove it otherwise. Another reason to love rib nuts.
Alright. Problem solved.
I'll never know.
Impact test.
But I'm now really confident in them. A very high level of confidence in them.
Yeah. We could super glue them, but. Life is falling apart.
I feel that way all the time.
Everything that we've built is crumbling around us, Trevor.
Life do be that way.
One day we'll be gone. And this will be somebody else's.
In the wind.
This will be somebody else's.
All we are is dust in the wind. Something like that, right?
Yeah.
The top one's a little bit harder. Oh, did I just push it in? Oh, it floats too.
It's just a rubber floater.
That's
It's supposed
so-
to be a. It's like a.
It turned.
I guess it's more dampening stuff. I don't know.
Weird.
I'm gonna get it flat first.
No, you're probably right. How weird is that design? I mean, like we said, it's probably all about floating and vibration. That's probably why they're not rigid mounted down there.
And
I still think it'll be alright. The KLR's is rigid
I don't
mounted.
think you're gonna notice. I mean, that's connected straight to your fucking whatever.
Crooked.
We got the other plastic washer.
Oh, this is going to take a different screw now, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, you can just use the plastic washer off this one. If I can get it out, gotta be smarter than the screw. want it.
There you are. Looks like we're all fixed up. And then there's one more screw missing over on that fairing.
Yeah, it's
Should be simpler.
relatively tiny screw. Actually, no, it's larger than I thought. It has a relatively large and flat head, though. Also, I think it's got the appropriate amount of level, but I need to learn how to read the oil dipstick. It's not as natural as you might assume. Did you cross thread?
I think any of the tapping might have.
Form threads? Or...
Yeah.
Let me give it a little shot of roux.
Right. It's kind of weird. I say not to tighten them until you get them all in.
Yeah, that's generally pretty solid advice. There it is. That's a heavy screw. And it'll be alright, but I will have to use different tools for the top, but I still think it's doing its job.
You need a washer?
The washer would help, especially if it had a large ratio, if you know what I mean. Pretty low.
That's good.
Oh yeah, that's a much better ratio. That's basically as big as the screw is on the other side.
Yeah.
Taste.
It's not going anywhere. Soapy water.
What is it? Okay. Strict free glass.
Same thing. Those shop towels. Those are probably dirty. Slightly dirty.
Thank you, good sir.
Let's see. Got a wrist stand over here.
How do those work? Is the ones that like grip the swing arm somehow?
Yeah.
I've never used one of those.
You're about to find out. I mostly like them because they get the bike perfectly upright.
Oh, and you can adjust how close they are together. Because that's what I was like, do you have to get them custom built to your bike? Ouch, it's so sharp. I see now that you have a nail as your pin.
What? Yeah. So, might need your help to push down on this. Ooh,
This is so freaky.
Might be a bigger bike than the stand was designed for. We'll put some jacks in.
That'd be sweet. just carefully lift upwards. Go left towards me. This goes farther forward. Yeah, because I guess it was on that little chain guard.
Your shit is in the way.
We'd use a normal hydraulic.
That's
lift.
okay.
We got it.
That's in a good spot.
I think so.
Still kind of. It's not happy.
What a weird experience after one this one does. Yeah. They're made for 250.
Seems pretty secure.
Especially if all we're doing is chain maintenance.
Don't think it needs much tightening.
So I think we'll need what, like maybe a 1922.
So 22.
It was just a guess, but I think I'm right.
Is it a bolt?
I think that might be a 19.
Yeah, it's the same as their lug nuts on cars.
Oh, that's fun.
22.
Oh yeah, I forget sometimes that your dad has what, a Honda Odyssey it is.
Yeah. Very nice. You know the torque spec?
I do not.
No. Would guess like 70 or 80. This thing's basically a car.
Alright.
We'll kind of know just by how much force it takes to get this thing off. That's about 70.
About 70 gruff pounds.
Yeah.
And we can use your calipers to make sure we got a proper rear alignment. That should be plenty enough for chain tightness, right? Yeah. Alright, so then I think we need 12mm open-ended wrench. Thank you, sir. Oh, and then I also need a 10. Oh, thank you. I remember being surprised how much a small adjustment on your axle placement makes a huge change in your chain tightness.
Yeah, I mean, even just half of one of those marks on that arm would probably be good.
I think that's it. Do you happen to have your calipers nearby?
Should have done a before measurement.
True. looks like I probably only moved it about a millimeter total.
It's got a lock nut and a adjustment nut.
Yeah, basically just like the KLR 650 at least. Just need to get it 31.3.
So it's pushing that aluminum block.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
That's basically it. And then we'll check the other side. Oops. Yeah. So I'll lock that.
What does the chain feel like?
Yes. Where it barely can just not touch the guard.
Usually you measure it on the kickstand, but we've got the swing arm weighted, I guess. Pretty close enough. Air on the looser side.
So I'll probably drop it down to maybe 34. So probably just use 34 meters. And when you do torquing, you want to torque from the nut side, right?
Yeah, because it's a bolt and a nut, and the nut locks.
You'd be measuring the resistance of turning the nut or wrench. Oh, put that one over there. That over there. And then that one on that one.
Torque the lock nuts.
I think you torque them out tight.
Snug. Well, check yours.
Like,
You hold the 10 mil while you. I mean, the bolt will move with the nut if you don't hold the bolt.
yeah, it was much.
Torque it, I would put the force downward so we don't lift it off the stand.
Yes.
If I have the room.
Yeah.
We've got an extension. There's one in that red box in that drawer. The long one.
Well, this looks like impact rated stuff.
It has seen many impacts. I've exploded my fair share of non-impacts.
So he's going for about 70.
Yeah, 72 is what the KLR is. 56 in the front, 72 in the back.
That's going to be in the outer one. about it. That feels really light.
But
That felt relatively light, but I guess it's a long.
might be 80, but I don't think you're gonna strip a 26mm bolt from that with 80. Then you don't want to squeeze your bearings either, I guess.
That feels about right. And it was just below 80. Yeah, it felt like it slipped a little bit more.
The full bolt.
Look at this, kind of a locking nut. That one's retaining clippy things. Well, I guess it's got the right nut, you know?
One. One. You want to use that dry lube or gear oil?
Guess it would be first.
One little can here. Just did the minty chain. Like 500 miles since I did it. I think the gear oil kind of sticks a little better and maybe moves a little better.
I think I need to clean like WD-40 first.
That's a little dirty. Yeah.
Do you have WD-40 or a similar thing?
Oh yeah.
That's it.
I'll spin it or whatever. Want a glove?
It would be awesome if you had gloves.
These things go fast.
Yes, they do. Thank you. I know that's the truth.
I need to get like 1,000 pack.
Yeah, I got 2 boxes the last time I ordered. It doesn't make a real difference, but I love the black nitrile ones.
I really want some thicker ones because they always blow out. Fingers.
Yeah, my last job definitely ordered like industrial strength gloves, and they were like a good 30-40% thicker.
Yeah, that's probably the move. It's one of those things I don't even really think to buy or spend money on, but like, they really do help.
That's it. Slower than that. Gotta work on perception a little bit. I bet it looks like dirty.
It's oil, I guess.
One thing I've thought is interesting about this bike is that certain parts are rusty, like just real small bits of rust. But it doesn't look like it was ever left outside.
Yeah.
WD-40 is such a great invention.
Nice. But it's not a lubricant. Although the whole world uses it as a lubricant. There's so much controversy about WD-40. I'm just like, what? You guys really fight on the internet about this?
Yeah, what do you not have better things to do? They must not have pretty girls in their lives like we do.
I guess so. I've only got pretty machines.
I've heard a lot of controversy on whether people like the fact that AT is a chain drive.
Yeah, it is a lot of power for a chain, but then a lot of leader bikes that put out I mean, isn't the H2 chain driven? Like,
Yeah, it wasn't even the power that they. It's really all about chain maintenance. Why people don't like it.
Oh, whack.
Wing, he says. Oh, that's.
I'm sure it's just all the Harley bros. Wish it was belt driven.
Well, I was. A lot of people were really surprised when Harley went to belt.
Yeah.
It was kind of a surprising move for them. Because, you know, up until that point, they hadn't changed. The Sportster is a good example. They had not changed it at all since the 80s. I think 1984, between 1984 and like somewhere in the 90s, they literally had not changed anything technology or mechanically or anything.
Jeez. And then they're just like, yeah, we're putting a belt on it.
That's literally all they changed. And then sometime.
And nobody's actually watching from around the world. But
Yeah, just the trying to make it available.
I mean, it could literally just be my Wi-Fi is like shoddy,
What are your normal speeds here?
like 500 megabits per second.
That's not shoddy, that's awesome.
But you know, it could be 500 intermittently.
Yeah,
It could
yeah.
have dropouts and stuff.
I've got to fight the tendency that it's not really that important what the outside of the chain looks like. It's the inside of the chain that's important.
Yeah, I mean,
Inside of the chain that's important.
yeah, I mean, it's more about just making it look pretty. It's more of an aesthetic thing, just making it look pretty. It's more of an aesthetic thing. Like I like to be able to see the link, like the steel, whatever. See that it's oiled but not dirty, but it's not really necessary. I mean, but it does make it look nicer. At least until it gets all rusty, and then there's not really any point. But it shouldn't ever get rusty if it's keep it oiled.
That's definitely true.
Sometimes what I'll do is you just kind of grab the rag around the whole chain, like kind of just like grab a big old handful and like
Spin it.
run it through there, and kind of like butts it. I don't want to like catch your fingers and like structure it up.
Well, I'm almost done doing what I'm doing. I'm just about to make a full 360. And it already looks a ton better.
Yeah. Put some muriatic acid on it.
I don't know if that would cooperate with the O-rings.
Cooperate with the rust.
Actually, I guess the whole point is that it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, that looks so much better.
Ready for another 5,000 miles. I bet you'll do that in the next like year.
Yeah, with how fun it is to ride, and how easy it is. Like,
Like you can go long distances way easier.
there's no vibration. You know how when we get up our 650s at the end of the day, or even your 250 at the end of the day, you just feel like you're vibrating?
Yeah.
There's basically none of that here.
If you're gonna take this foam off,
Probably.
I didn't like the feel of it. Looks like it's metal grips.
Yeah, I think those are stock.
Oh my god, anodized aluminum grips.
Or like the, you know, it's rubber on top of that, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I see it. Yeah. That's a bar end weight. On the end.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Wait, what is this dipstick?
That is the main oil dipstick.
I thought it was on the cap.
I guess I'll spray some of that Teflon lube right here.
Yeah, if you just, there.
I'll just hold it in place.
You can kind of wipe it in with a clean rag.
It's kind of like drippage. Checking out the sprockets while I'm at it. Rear looks pretty good, but that's typical, right? Rear typically looks a lot better.
Oh, it's not clean at all. Look at all that grime.
Oh, and you can't even see the front sprocket.
Got an endoscope.
What?
What?
You got a what?
An endoscope?
Oh god.
You want to use it?
Shoot. Oh wait, never mind, you can see it. Or no, never mind, that's the swing arm.
I think it's probably fine.
Yeah, it's only got 5,000 miles on it.
5,000 miles of 100
horsepower.
Yeah, so I was actually thinking to myself, like, on the KLR, I think the quote change stretch is really just it wearing in. I think here we might actually be dealing with chain stretch.
Right.
Oh. Man, it looks good back here. Darn tootin'. Now I know why the top portion of the exhaust doesn't get hot. It's not touching the exact actual exhaust. Oh, I see. There's separate pieces of metal.
Yeah.
This is the exhaust. That is a cover.
Probably got a fiberglass mat maybe in there.
No,
too.
no, it's just like a full inch of air in between the exhaust and that cover.
So this is a cover too, right?
No, that's the actual exhaust there. That's the difference.
Here's your cat.
Well, you joke, but there's another little blob down there.
Yeah.
I think this might actually have a cat.
Yeah.
I don't know that. I don't know. What other simple maintenance
Yeah, I think
items?
that was a cat.
That second little blob?
That's just a cat.
I think it is. And honestly, all the discussions we've had about motorcycle emissions and whatnot, that makes me feel so much better. I'm getting roughly 50, 60 miles to the gallon, and I have a cat.
Yeah.
I'm actually making a difference now.
Well, did we do what we set out to do?
I think so. You feeling riding it all today?
I mean, I'm down.
What time is it? Yeah, I still got about another hour and a half or so.
Get on Shades Crest and back.
The most beautiful road around.
Let me set. How grippy is your? Go feel the tires on the Ninja.
As far as like softness of the rubber.
Yeah, I think the Ninja tires are a good bit stiffer.
That's pretty soft rubber. I can sink my fingernail into it easily.
This just doesn't feel as grippy as like if you feel the knobby over here, feel the way grippy.
So I do think this is probably the softest rubber of the three.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because my fingernail can just sink right into that.
It's like a lot of like race bike tires will be like so grippy they'll like melt into the road.
Oh yeah, and that only lasts like literally 300 to 600 miles.
These might last like 10,000 if they're that grippy. They might be like Harley tires.
I mean, I could still. I mean, I do agree these are probably the stiffer of the three, but I can still sink my fingernail in there pretty easily.
I just figure maybe I should scuff them up or something. Get my belt sander out and just.
Because it looks like you have chicken strips.
Well, I do have chicken strips.
Shoot, I'm still gonna take it real slow and take my time, but this Africa Twin just leans into turns. It just like, oh, I'm just like horizontal now, and that feels fine.
You can take it on a track. On a cloth.
Yeah, actually, I would.
Let's turn on the screen.
Okay.
We'll get an extra layer on for the ride. Goodbye, nobody.
We loved you. Oh, yours is green.